Hi, everyone. I'm James Garbutt.
And I'm Denny Dumas.
And this is the Garbutt Dumas Real Estate Podcast.
Big story in 2022 and 2023 in real estate is interest rates. We're all sick of hearing about them. I get it. So am I. But I feel like we kind of have to talk about it and just kind of summarize what Greater Vancouver real estate is doing in September. We're near the end of September 2023. The last Bank of Canada meeting was September 6th. They did not increase the rate. The overnight bank rate is still, what is it, 5.25?
Yes.
The next Bank of Canada meeting is October 25th. September has been kind of a predictable month. We often see a surge in inventory. A lot of people waiting till after Labor Day long weekend to list their homes. And we definitely saw that this year. There's definitely more for sale today than there was at the end of August. What is interesting to kind of see is that in a lot of neighborhoods and a lot of product types, the demand has not kind of kept up with the increase in inventory in the last few weeks. You can disagree with me if you like. It looks like you want to. There are some, well, let me preface this. There are some product types and some neighborhoods that are still smoking busy. Last night I had a client offer on a beautifully renovated house in East Vancouver that got 4 offers. Sold like well above list price, rescission period, so we won't know for 3 days, so check back with me. But other product types like Maple Ridge single family.
Detached like Maple Ridge.
Condos in Surrey.
There's
tens of thousands of condos in Surrey, it feels like, to see. If you have a buyer looking for a 1-bedroom condo in Surrey, you're going to type in your search under 500K or 550, and you're going to see 400 of them. Mm-hmm. Maple Ridge is, we have a listing in Maple Ridge right now. I have some buyers looking out that way. And a lot of homes that we're seeing are on market 30 days, 90 days even.
Yeah. We're seeing the market react to interest rates, I think, big time this like late spring, summer, all the way through now. This is the biggest slowdown. We saw a big slowdown last year in 2022, November, December. Then spring picked up a little bit more, but it didn't pick up for long. And then we saw a really, really abrupt slowdown through the summer up until now. I think what we are seeing, though, is just normal market conditions. We're down 13% from peak, but we're up 5% year over year in the dollar amounts that the homes are selling for. So that, to me, is a normal market condition. We're seeing pretty normal market conditions. We talked about Maple Ridge. Maple Ridge is an area that is historically not as busy as East Vancouver. Surrey has a ton of condos. They've done a great job in Surrey making sure there's a crap ton of housing. There's tons of townhouses. There's new detached homes being built all the time, and there's certainly plenty of condos. So it would make sense that there are a lot of condos on the market. We are seeing more than ever is like an investor dump. We're seeing lots of investors dump their small investments, and they work their way up. So usually it starts with getting rid of that little condo that they don't really care about that's more of a headache. So we're seeing some of the smaller, investors unload a lot of their smaller condos to help either subsidize whatever mortgages they have on usually primary residences and things like that.
Who can take advantage of conditions when inventory increases?
Well, I mean, there's always opportunity in markets like this. The opportunity that I see in a market where you're saturated with rentals, with condos, is to scoop one up. Usually, somebody makes a lot of money in these types of markets. So, historically speaking, when we see low markets like this, they don't last for very, very long. I don't know if very, very long is the next 12 months. I don't know if it's 24 months. I don't know if it's 36 months. But knowing that we have a housing crisis and all of the announcements that we've heard in September of 2023, it sounds like there are higher ups kind of panicking about supply. So for me, when I hear people panicking about supply, it makes me feel like I should buy some.
Even in our previous podcast, you shared a stat about what BC Housing wants to see in the next 5 years. And what they want to see is 29,000 new homes.
That's just in Vancouver.
That's just in Vancouver.
Yeah. Yeah, areas
So,
like
and they're projecting based on what they think population is going to do in 5 years from now.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. Like the percentage of increase that they want in some of the cities is not realistic. Like they want Abbotsford to add 13.6% of housing, like on top of what they have now. 13.6, that's an enormous amount. That's 7,200 units. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So this is them obviously projecting that our population growth is not slowing down.
No.
But at the same time, as like someone who understands real estate and how municipalities grow and how developers work and how long it takes to get building permits and how long it takes to actually construct these buildings, is these numbers are super unrealistic.
Yeah, for 5 years. 5 years out. That means like we see from the time new projects are marketed to the time that we get keys, it's at least 5 years most times.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Like it's just completely unrealistic. Yeah, it's completely unrealistic.
So I think what we're getting at is BC Housing has notified that we need more housing.
Yeah.
The number of homes that they've projected we need are super unrealistic. So investing in units today, in single family, in condos, in townhomes, in good neighborhoods today, I think is going to be is hilariously going to pay off in 5 years from now.
Yeah. I mean, I get a big kick out of this. I mentioned this on another podcast. We need people that are willing to invest in rentals. We need people. We need Denny's and Monica's and Carl's. We need like small-time people to invest. You mentioning how many hundreds of condos are available in Surrey kind of makes me chuckle because you hear tenants all the time and, you know, people screaming that, oh, you know, investors are keeping, you know, small-time people from owning. Well, right now there's hundreds of really affordable condos on the market. Where are all these people that are really upset that they can't? Like, now is the time, guys. Now's the time. Yeah, get out of your rental and buy your first condo. Now's the time. Yes, interest rates are high, but in a few years they'll go down, I'm guessing.
People get really flustered with the interest rate. And how many times have you heard, I'd like to buy something, but I'll wait till interest rates go down? It's a losing formula.
So much. Yeah, we talk about this. We talked about this yesterday. Like if you buy it right now at the interest rate level now, and you hold on to it for 5 years, and this is just a number that we're making up, and we're making this number up. If appreciation goes up 5%, say you buy that condo for $700,000 today, and appreciation goes up 5% in the next 5 years, and then interest rates ease off a little bit, it will cost you, what was it, $200,000? That's the 5%? Yeah, it will cost you it was like $220,000 to wait for interest rates to go down.
You have to take into consideration too that you're living somewhere, so you're paying rent somewhere.
Yeah.
Your housing cost does not go from $0 to $3,000 a month if you're purchasing a condo. Mm-hmm. It goes from renting for $2,500 a month or more to owning for $3,000 a month, but you're paying down your principal every month, which is actually putting money back in your pocket instead of in investors.
Yeah, now's the time. There's lots of condos in Surrey. Now's the time.
Just for the record, we do sell outside of Surrey.
Yeah, we're just like really plugging Surrey.
Port Coquitlam, New West, Burnaby, Vancouver.
I looked at some really awesome condos in New West this weekend with a buyer. I had a great buyer's tour. We were looking at 2-bedroom apartments, some really big ones, which is pretty amazing, all in the $700,000 range. I would have had clients die for one of those like last year or the year before, and now we saw almost 9 in one day. And I had 4 realtors call me on Monday being like, hey, what'd you guys think? You know, did you like it? So those are out there right now. It's pretty, there's choices. There's choices.
Honestly, that's funny that you bring that up because that's something that is back in style right now is realtors fishing for feedback. Yeah. And in busy markets, nobody ever reaches out and says, what did you think of the showing on Saturday? Because they had 40 and they sold it already on Monday, you know? Yeah. Versus today, it seems like almost every showing request or showing that you do with a buyer now, you're getting feedback request.
I even get it from my clients that just head out to open houses without me, and I'll get the realtors like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but your client came through," and so they're asking everyone that comes to the door, like, "Who's your realtor?" And they're like writing it down. I'm going to call her on Monday. Yeah, it's changed.
The market has shifted, and I think this fall there's a lot of really good opportunity out there. Yes, interest rates suck, and they are a bit intimidating at the moment. But if you can afford it, I think this is a really good time to invest in real estate, because in 3 to 5 years from now, when rates are settle out, my guess is in like the 4.5 range, properties are going to cost a lot more money than they are today.
Yeah, now's the time. If you're buying for the first time, you are more in the driver's seat now than you will ever likely be. You have the benefit of buying in the high interest rate environment where you know that like this, we're getting close to peak if we're not there already in terms of the interest rate increases. So you're not one of the buyers that bought 2 years ago that's now like really strapped because of the increases. So that for me is a positive. You're buying into the higher interest rate environment, so you know, like, I can afford this. Whereas a lot of people purchased thinking, oh, at most it'll increase 2 points, and we're way beyond that. And you have choices. So in terms of being in the driver's seat, if you're one of those types of buyers that is a little hesitant, you don't want to get in a multiple offer situation, you're really afraid of fluctuation of interest rates, now is like the most driver's seaty situation that I can see in the foreseeable future, really. And certainly looking at the past too.
There's 2 more meetings this year, October 25th and December 6th, Bank of Canada meetings.
Yeah, what do we think is going to happen?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think maybe hold one more time, but I see an increase later in the year, maybe December.
I think October increases. I know it's not exactly what all our clients, friends, families want to hear, but I think October increases 0.25. I think the inflation numbers are higher than expected, mostly due to gas and housing prices. So it's a weird spiral that, yes, increase rates, that increases monthly costs on housing, that increases inflation. I don't know what the solution is, but I think there's one more hike this year, and then I think it kind of settles for 6 to 12 months.
Ooh. Let's find out if Denny's a genius or a complete dum-dum. We'll get back to you guys next year.
Next year.